Hidden within all the beautiful scenery and beaches in San Diego, California, a dark demonic house resides.
I wasn't sure before I started working here, and now that I work here, I realize things happen that you can't explain, and a lot of them are very interesting.
I do believe in ghosts. I don't believe every single ghost story that I hear, but I do like to keep an open mind. Just not too open because your brain could fall out, but still keep an open mind.
All right, well, get ready for a fright this morning. We are taking a tour of haunted spots in San Diego this morning with paranormal researcher Bonnie Vent.
Let's talk about the Whaley House. I know that it was built in 1856, and it was the Southern California's first two-story brick building. Tell us about the original occupants, the Whaleys.
The interesting thing about the Whaley House is it's the only house that I'm aware of where the original occupants thought it was haunted also.
Century home, once owned by wealthy local retailer Thomas Whaley, was the site of a gruesome suicide. And today, it's known as one of the most haunted houses in the United States.
Here's something of conversation. San Diego may be paradise to you, but some parts of San Diego are said to be haunted.
It sure looks like a ghost here in historic Whaley House.
In its time, the Whaley House has served as a granary, the county courthouse, a theater, and of course, the home of Thomas Whaley and his family. According to travel channels, America's Most Haunted, the Whaley House is the most haunted house in the United States. The most active ghost is Yankee Jim, a convict who was hung on site in 1852. Another popular ghost of the Whaley House is Thomas Whaley himself. Many people see his full-body apparition or smell cigar smoke. Anna Whaley and another young woman in a long white dress also make an appearance in the house. The little girl, Anita, plays around the dining room and often speaks to you. Annabelle Washburn came over to play with her daughter, but she broke her neck on a low-hanging clothesline and died.
Had someone walk right through me one time. And most people ask me if that felt cold. It did not. It felt like a very high frequency vibrational energy. It kind of felt like tingling, vibrating, what we sometimes call pins and needles. I've seen ghosts in here. I didn't used to, but I have a few times. And the one that was most memorable was about 2.5 years ago. It was in the morning before we opened for business. I went to clean all the glass on the second floor, and I went to the master bedroom, and I suddenly heard a dog barking inside the room.
I've been around when kids say they experienced the ghost of Dolly, the family dog. She's known for licking people's legs or licking their feet.
Dog came right around the foot of the bed, stopped about 5 feet away from me, looked as real as us, solid, real. It's a small dog, maybe about this big. I would have said it was a Jack Russell Terrier. She was white with dark spots, and she just stood there and barked at me. And so for that split second, I thought, oh my gosh, because I know there's no way there's a dog in that room. And then I decided to treat her like any other dog, so I looked at her, I said, it's okay, you can be quiet now. And as soon as I said that, like that, she disappeared.
After reviewing my footage, I first captured a whistle I didn't hear during filming. Then came something more relevant. This sounded a lot like a small 10-pound dog barking, and it is in the exact same area where he is rumored to haunt. Other weird things happened while inside the house. Immediately after entering, me and my partner felt extremely heavy and experienced light headaches.
I'm sorry, I can't. I think one of the ghosts I've seen here, I think we saw Thomas Tanner once. Coming up, we were screening a movie here one day, and it was the Soho movie. It was for the organization. So I was sitting over in this chair, and I heard footsteps come up the stairs. I turned to look because I thought it was one of the docents coming in late, and instead I saw the shadow on the wall of a man. He was 6 feet high, but he had no hat on, and he had one of those nice like old-time suits, like a tailcoat. Anyway, so I first just saw he was a shadow of one of our ushers, but then he came off the wall and then walked across into the kids' room, and I could hear the footsteps matching with the moves he was making across the room. And at the same time, I saw it, and I looked, and there was a guy sitting at the end of the row, and he also looked too. We both saw at the same time, the same guy. And we just both looked about it like.
And sure enough, on my first day here, I got to see a doll's eyes open and close by themselves when the eyes were actually just painted on.
First thing I do when I come in here is put all these chairs back, straighten out the tablecloth. So I did that one day, and I'm talking to two ladies that were over there, and while I'm talking, I noticed that this chair moves all the way out here.
I've never been scared to work in the house, although there's been times when you want to get out sooner rather than later. One of my first private tours was when I turned 18 years old. And I was this young kid giving a tour to a newlywed couple. Took them through the house, walked them out, and I was locking up. I heard footsteps on the second floor. And I thought to myself, well, maybe it's my imagination. And I came to the second floor, there was no one up here. When I walked back downstairs, the footsteps got so real that I ended up calling my supervisor at the time and told her.
Flying objects is an important part to any haunted house. As I walked to the master bedroom filming B-roll, something interesting flew across the top right of the screen. You decide what it really is.
Things happen that we can't explain.